Okay, today, front squat. Front squat, a couple things in this video that I want to point out. First of all is going to be the elbow position. And I've talked about this in some of my past videos, but this gives us a little better angle on what's going on with the elbows and what's going on with the arms. All right, the other thing I want to look at is the bar position on the torso. All right, and then the third thing I want to look at is the feet. Okay, so starting with the arms first, you'll notice that the elbows are up high and that the upper arm is parallel to the floor. We want to keep those upper arms parallel to the floor, and in some cases even a little bit higher than parallel. It really depends on the person, but at least parallel or above. Okay, and that goes for the whole movement. So as you descend and as you come back up, you never want to see the elbows drop, or you never want to see that upper arm. Again, upper arm being shoulder to elbow, you never want to see that drop below parallel. Okay, and when I play the video, you'll be able to see that. The other thing I want to point out is the bar position. You can see the bar is resting on my torso. Okay, it runs across the top of my shoulders. It goes over the very upper chest area, and it actually makes contact with the neck. You can see that here. You can see how close it is up to the neck. Any forward position of that bar off of the neck, so any time that bar gets a little bit lower on the chest, that actually puts the barbell out in front of you more and makes your lift more difficult. The closer you can keep that bar to your neck, or really what we're trying to do is push the barbell towards the center line of your body. And if you imagine that center line of the body runs right through your ear, down your shoulder, through your hip, and down into your midfoot, that bar, when I've got it pressed up against my neck, is as close as I can get it to that midline. Again, anytime that bar comes forward, you get away from that midline, and depending on the weight you've got on the bar, it can make the lift exponentially more difficult. It's going to feel much heavier than it actually is. And that kind of ties in with the elbow position. If the elbows start to drop, usually it's a sign that the barbell, or if that barbell starts to roll forward, the elbows drop. It's a sign that barbell is coming off that midline or off of the neck. Okay. The other thing I want to point out is the feet. I've mentioned it a couple times, but I've been toying with a more toe forward position. Most lifters, they angle the toes out a little bit in their squats or in their receiving positions for the Olympic lifts. There's a sort of a guru out there. His name is Kelly Starrett. I'm sure if you're a CrossFitter, you've heard of him, but he's really been advocating the toe forward position because of the torque you can create in your hip joint, and it makes a lot of sense to me. So I've really been trying it, and I've really been working with it and playing with it. I did have a PR in my back squat about a month ago with this stance. I'm not saying that it's completely the stance, but I am pretty pleased with it so far, so I'm going to keep running with it and keep working with it. There's definitely some debate there, toes angled out or toes forward, but again, I'm working with the toes forward. I'd be happy to hear some feedback from others if you've been working with it. So without further ado, let's watch this video here. So we're going to watch the elbow position, see how those elbows stay up nice and high. The barbell never leaves my neck, and see it keeps contact the whole time. There we go. This is a 3-rep set here. Here's one. And there's 100 kilos on the bar here. This is pretty heavy for me. There's 2, and you can notice those elbows are still up nice and high, and that bar has not deviated off of my neck. It has not come forward. In low position, hamstrings touch the calves. The feet are always flat, so you'll never see any lifting of the heels or rolling forward onto the toes. Okay, so there it is, folks. That's your front squat, sort of a front angle view. What to do with your elbows, and I'll put some. I know for a lot of people it's hard to get that positioning of the arms or the hands, or to get that rack position. I'll do some flexibility stuff coming up here. I'm backing it up a little bit, but you can see when I'm front squatting, or when most people front squatting, if you can see my hand, really it's just the fingertips on that bar. So you don't have to worry about grabbing the whole bar with your hands in a front squat. In a front squat, it's just enough just to sort of support that barbell up towards the neck. You don't have to, I call it white knuckle, you don't have to white knuckle that barbell. You can release your hands and just let it sit on the torso. All right, go out and practice.